XRP has absolutely massive potential, and if you don't have at least 126,683 XRP, you are going to miss out big time. I'm going to explain to you exactly why in this video today. All right, first of all, let's talk about where XRP is right now. As you guys can see by this chart over here on my left, XRP currently sitting at about 63 cents. And we have seen something very interesting with XRP. When we go ahead and we look at a 1 month chart for XRP, you can see it is up 22% on the month. But if we go to, for example, like a 1 year, you're up about 60%. So it still is doing decent. But if we end up looking and comparing this chart that we see in right here on a 1 year, we compare this to something like a Bitcoin, there's a very sharp contrast. It seems like XRP overall right now is somewhat lagging behind. I mean, look at this Bitcoin chart, guys. This is absolutely insane. Bitcoin's up 200% this year. XRP only up 60%. Why is it lagging behind? Well, we're going to get into that in just a second. But first, let's talk about the potential of XRP. I personally believe that as we go forward with cryptocurrency, now that we're seeing mass adoption of cryptocurrency through the form of these different ETFs, I believe that we're going to see this expand way beyond just Bitcoin. Obviously, we've seen these Bitcoin ETFs coming out over the past couple months, but I believe things like XRP have the potential to be absolutely massive, because when we talk about wide scale adoption of cryptocurrency, yes, you can invest in a ETF and something like Bitcoin, something like, and they call it like the digital gold. But something like XRP, you could actually use it as a cryptocurrency to transact daily. What I mean by that? Well, when you talk about gold, right, you go and invest in gold, you're not going to go to your grocery store and exchange gold for your groceries. That doesn't happen. You're not going to exchange Bitcoin for your groceries because Bitcoin just doesn't have that much potential. You can see right here as far as transactions go every second. So you look at transactions per second, you can see Bitcoin averages about 10 transactions per second. It ends up working for the network with what the demand is right now, and it does its job for what it's intended to do, but you're not going to be able to go to the grocery store, end up tapping your Bitcoin card or whatever, go to your phone, tap your phone, and end up being able to pay for your groceries in Bitcoin. It's not going to happen. It can't handle the volume. Whereas if you look at something like XRP, this thing, the numbers vary depending on where you're looking. Right here, it says 1,500 transactions per second. Other places say even higher. So what does this mean? This means that currencies like XRP, and especially XRP, have the potential to actually be a currency that is used on a daily basis by people for their daily transactions. Another key factor, obviously, is you need to be able to handle the volume of transactions, but it also needs to be affordable. As we're seeing with Ethereum, yeah, Ethereum can handle a ton of transactions. The problem right now with the massive spike in Bitcoin price and the overall market, the Ethereum chart looks similar to this Bitcoin chart. As you see these just prices explode, volume explodes, the prices on Ethereum right now, I ended up doing a swap the other day, it's close to $40. $40 for a transaction. Now, luckily, I was doing a few $1,000s, so as a percentage basis, it wasn't that bad. But again, if you're going to the grocery store, you may be spending $200-300 on groceries, $40 transaction fee, it's not going to work. And obviously, if you transact, it's a little bit less, but even $10 transaction fee, that's not going to work. You have to have it be a couple cents at most. And this means that something like XRP, we have a fraction of a penny transaction fee. That is very doable for the vast majority of people, because when you scan and use a credit card, usually the merchant pays the fee, but there's like a 3% credit card fee. Something like this, if you do a $100 transaction, you're talking 1/1,000,000 of a percent. Basically, you're talking absolutely nothing. So this is very tangible for people. Another possibility is Solana. Now, what I want to point out here is that there is competition for XRP. While I do believe that XRP has the potential to do this, there's other networks too that can potentially fulfill this use case of actually being a currency to be transacted on a daily basis. And Solana is a great example. You see transactions per second on Solana. It's averaging about 2,150 transactions per second. You can see the total transactions here. But something like Solana is going to be competing with XRP to be that main currency use case. When we go ahead and look at some other advantage of XRP, it could actually scale up to 3,400 transactions per second. You might be wondering, well, how many transactions per second do we need to be able to handle for this to be a currency that is used on a daily basis? We're getting to that in just a second, but first I want to talk about something else. Another factor that people, mainly governments, are wanting to focus on is sustainability. What are the emissions that happen with this? You can see that XRP is actually extremely energy efficient, 61,000 times more energy efficient than proof of work blockchains. You can see that by the difference between Bitcoin, obviously Bitcoin, the largest proof of work blockchain, but when you look at this, 57 billion kilowatt hours versus about 500,000. So when we're comparing XRP to something like Bitcoin, it has an advantage in transactions per second, cost per transaction, and more energy efficient. There's something that is obviously going to be a massive advantage for XRP potentially being a currency that's going to be used on a daily basis. All right, so how many transactions would XRP need to be able to handle to actually be a currency that is used on a daily basis by people? Again, when they're buying groceries, buying gas, whatever it is that they're going out and buying. Well, let's take a look at credit card transactions as a good frame of reference, because obviously there's cash transactions, but people are using cash are probably not going to end up using cryptocurrency, not for a very long time. So when you look at credit card transactions on a different basis here in the United States, you can see that there's an average of 6.2 million per hour and about 1,700 credit card transactions every single second. So if the network on XRP can handle anywhere from 1,500, potentially all the way up to 3,400 transactions per second, and there's only 1,700 credit card transactions every second, we could replace credit cards with XRP. And so for me, as I look at the potential of XRP right now, without the prices even going up in the next bull market, right? If Bitcoin ends up going to 400,000 or $1 million, these numbers could get way crazier. But as we look at right now, what could XRP do? Well, you have Bitcoin. Bitcoin's kind of your gold store of value. That's probably going to stay number one. But number two is Ethereum, because you have so many utilities built on top of the Ethereum network. What if that ends up being changed? You have XRP overtake Ethereum because the use case is so wide. Again, let's say we replace all credit cards with using XRP. It would be a challenge, but let's say we do that, I would take over Ethereum. So if XRP takes over Ethereum, you're looking at roughly a 14, 13x returns. So if you end up actually getting that 126,683 XRP that I talked about earlier, you would turn that into over $1 million worth of XRP. And again, as we look even to the past, we look at the history of Ethereum, where Ethereum peaked out, was higher than where it is right now in terms of market cap. So XRP could go even higher than that as we go into the next bull run. We really just don't know. What are things going to do in the next cryptocurrency bull run? How insane are things going to get? Is everything going to go 10x where it is right now? What are we going to look at then? We don't really know. But we do know right now, and we can analyze right now, what is Ethereum right now versus what is XRP right now? If prices stay the same and all that changes is the actual use case for XRP, again, it takes over credit card transactions or some other type of wide-scale transactions, XRP could go absolutely crazy. And so if you want to be kept up to date about the awesome potential of XRP, make sure you guys go ahead, subscribe down below, and I'll catch you on the next one.